Our next topic will be simultaneous equations. Now, from the word simultaneous, it means we're going to be handling more than one equation at the same time. Let's look at a real-life scenario. And two students come to you and say, well, I went to the bookshop, I bought 3 pens and 4 notebooks, and I spent 50 naira. And you begin to wonder, okay, 3 pens, 4 books, 50 naira. Is it possible for us to tell what the price of 1 pen is, or the price of 1 book from this singular statement? No. The second student comes to you and says, oh, I bought 2 pens and 3 books, and I spent 35 naira. This makes it a little bit better. 2 pens, 3 books, 35 naira. And you bought it, that other person bought 3 pens, 4 books, 50 naira. How do I find out the cost price of 1 pen and the cost price of what? 1 book. Now we'll put this into a simultaneous equation and then we'll solve this very easily. Let me write this out. We have 3 pens plus 4 books costing 50, right? 2 pens plus 3 books costing what? 35. The problem now is how much is a pen and how much is a book. 2 methods can be used. One of the methods is known as the elimination method. It is the easiest, but we prefer doing it. But the shortest of them all is what? The substitution method. First, we're going to solve problems looking at the elimination method or using the elimination method, and then next solve some more problems looking at what? Or using the substitution method. What do I mean by elimination method? If you look at this simultaneous equation here, we'll call this equation 1 and we'll call this equation 2. There are 2 unknowns. And what are these unknowns? The cost price of 1 pen and the cost price of 1 book. These are the 2 unknowns. Now, as a matter of fact, simultaneous equations, you can have more than 1 equation, or sorry, you can have more than 2 equations. It all depends on the number of unknowns you have. If you have 2 unknowns, then you need 2 equations. You have 3 unknowns, you need what? 3 equations. You have 4 unknowns, then you need minimum of what? 4 equations. But for this scheme, we are looking at just 2 unknowns. When we say elimination method, from the word elimination, eliminate, it means you're going to look at, oh, between pen and book, I must eliminate 1. So if I have only 1 unknown, it will be easier for me to solve. That's okay, pen, book, pen, book. Most of us like eliminating what? The first one. So okay, let us eliminate P. Please, I'm going to wipe this off and we'll proceed from there. Let's eliminate P. If I'm going to eliminate P, how do I go about that? For us to eliminate P, please listen carefully. We're going to do a little adjustment such that at the end of the day, the coefficient of P in equation 1 and the coefficient of P in equation 2 will be the same. And the only way we can do that is this. I'll multiply equation 1 by the coefficient of P in equation 2, which is 2. Sorry, I'll multiply equation 1 by 2. That is the whole of this equation. I'll use this 2 to multiply the whole of the first equation. And now multiply equation 2 by what? By this 3. I repeat myself. I want to make sure that what? That the coefficient of P in the 2 equations are the same. Why? Because I want to eliminate P. And how do I do that? I look at the coefficient of P in equation 2, which is 2. I use that to multiply the whole of equation 1. Of course, that will now make this 6. Is that also? Yes. And I now take this 3 and multiply everything here. And that will make this one also 6. And then I'll be satisfied. So let's do that. Multiply equation 1 by 2. And that gives me 6P plus 2 times that 4, 8B equals to 2 times 50, 100. You can call this equation 3 if you like. And then I'll multiply equation 2 by 3. So the whole of this I'll multiply by 3. 3 times this will give me 6P. Here we have 9B. 3 times this will give us what? This is 15. Check 1, 1, 0, 5. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. Now we have 6P, 6P. We can easily eliminate what? P. We can label this as what? As equation 4. It's okay. If I subtract this equation from this, what happens? P goes up. 6P minus 6P, is it not 0? That is the whole idea of elimination. I would have eliminated P. So I say, okay, equation 3. Equation 3 minus equation what? 4. 6P minus 6P. That's gone. Right? Our P is gone, it's traveled. 8B minus 9B. That gives us minus 1B, which is minus B. Am I right? And then 100 minus 105 will give us what? Minus 5. The answer is already there. What do I do next? I can just what? Use minus 1 to multiply both sides or divide both sides. If I divide both sides by minus, this becomes, say, minus B divided by minus 1, minus 5 divided by minus 1. Is that also? So this cancels out, this cancels out. And the answer is what? B is equal to 5. That means the cost price of each one book is what? 5 naira. The next thing is, what about the price of the pen? Well, since I now know one, I can easily find the other. I'll now take this value and substitute in any one of this equation. I may look as, okay, I like this equation, let me use equation 2. I say, okay, substituting B equals to 5 in equation 2, which is this. So I write it out. 2P plus 3B equals to what? 35. Our B is 5, so I put 5 there. And we have what? 2P plus 3 times 5 is equal to 35. This gives me 2P plus 15 equals to what? 35. This is 2P equals to what? 35 minus 15, which gives us what? 2P equals to 20. Of course, you can see here that our P is what? 20 divided by 2, and that gives us 10. So I can now conclude that what? That my B, finally, B is equal to 5, and what? That P is equal to 10. Is that true? You can see. B is 5 naira, and 1 pen is what? 10. We are still considering the elimination method of solving simultaneous equations. Here on the board we have another equation, or set of equations rather. We have the first equation that 5x minus 2y is equal to 16. We have two unknowns there. There's no way we can solve for any one of them except with the assistance of another equation. So that's why we have 3x plus 4y equals to minus 16. We can take this as our equation 1 and take this as what? Equation 2. Remember, we are still doing what? We are still making use of the elimination method. And the problem now is, do I eliminate x or should I eliminate y? I'm very sure most of us will root for x. that should eliminate x. But this is what I'm going to do. We'll solve this question twice. First, we'll solve it eliminating x, and then the second time we'll solve the same question eliminating y. So let's do what? Let's eliminate x first. And I'll say eliminating x. How do I do that? Multiply equation 1 by what? If you are eliminating x, you are going to multiply equation 1 by the coefficient of x in equation 2, and which is what? 3. So you multiply the whole of this by 3. And then we multiply equation 2 by the coefficient of x in equation 1, which is what? 5. So multiply by 5. And we take this immediately. 3 times the whole of this. That gives us 15x minus 6y, and 3 times 16 should give us 48. You can call this equation 3. Multiply equation 2 by 5, and that gives us here 15x plus 20y, that's 4 times 5, equal to 5 times 6 is what? 30. Well, there's a minus sign there, and I call this equation 4. Now we can do the final elimination. How do we do that? Subtract one equation from the other. This time around I want to subtract 3 from 4. So I'll say equation 4 minus equation 3. Mind you, it's not compulsory, you must follow this order. You can say equation 3 minus equation 4. But if you are doing equation 3 minus equation 4, make sure you remain that way all through. Because if you come here and say this minus this, and you come to this and say this minus this, then you have messed up. So equation 4 minus 3 means 15x minus 15x. That one is gone. There's nothing there. And we have 20y minus 6y. Remember we are subtracting. Please take note of this situation. We are subtracting equation 3 from 4. So this is 15x minus 15x, which is 0. It's gone. The next will be what? 20y minus 6y. So it's going to be, look at this, it's going to be 20y minus 6y. So this becomes plus. Be very careful with this. When you have different signs. This minus 6y, and that becomes positive. So what do we have there? That becomes 26y. If you just say 20y minus 6y, that will give you 14y, which is wrong. But it is 20y minus y, because we are saying we are subtracting, so there's a minus there. 20y minus 6y, and that gives us 26y. Very, very important to take care of that. And then we move. This will be minus 30 minus 48, and that gives us minus 78. And from this we can say that our y is equal to minus 78 divided by what? 26. And this will give us minus 3. So our y is minus 3. So if our y is minus 3, what about x? We have to come back to what? Either equation 1 or equation 2. Let's make use of equation 1 this time. I will say substituting the value y equals to minus 3 in equation 1. And equation 1 says 5x minus 2y is equal to 16. So I'll bury minus 3 into this. I have 5x minus 2 times minus 3. That's our y equal to 16. Minus 2 times minus 3 will give us plus 6. So this is 5x plus 6 equals to 16. We transfer. 5x equals 16 minus 6. That's 5x equals to what? 10. So what's our x? 10 divided by 5, which gives us 2. So we conclude here that what? Our x is 2, and our y is what? Minus 3. I'm very sure this is very, very clear. what have we done? We started by doing what? Eliminating x. By choosing to eliminate x, it means we are looking at these two coefficients. We want to make them equal. I was okay for us to do that. We must multiply the whole of equation 1 by the coefficient of x in equation 2, which is 3. We must multiply what? The whole of equation 2 by the coefficient of x in equation 1, which is 5. And that gave us 15x, 15x. And that enabled us to do what? Subtract and throw this out. And remember this place very well. 20y minus, because you are subtracting, then minus 6y. That gives us 26 plus, that becomes plus. And then this was what? Minus 30 minus 48, which is minus 78. And that gives us what? That our y is minus 3. And then went upstairs, substituting what? Our y, which is minus 3, into this equation. And then that gave us finally that our x is 2. Now let's solve this same question. But this time around, we will eliminate y. And let's see if we'll get the same answer. Let's proceed. Here we have again 5x minus 2y is equal to 16. And here we have 3x plus 4y is equal to minus 6. I want to eliminate y. So what will I do? I say, okay, eliminating y. What do I do? I have to multiply. I have to multiply equation 1. So I call this equation 1. Call this equation 2. I have to multiply equation 1 by what? If I'm eliminating y, please take note. If I'm eliminating y, I'm looking at this coefficient this time around. Right? I'm looking at this coefficient. So if I want to eliminate y, I have to multiply equation 1 by the coefficient of y in equation 2, which is what? 4. So I multiply equation 1 by 4. And then I multiply, let's write this out here. Let's come down, put it here. We multiply equation 1 by what? 4. Y. That's the coefficient of y in equation 2. We multiply equation 2 by what? By minus 2, which is what? The coefficient of y in equation 1. Minus 2. So let's see what happens. If I'm multiplying equation 1 by 4, that means 4 times 5x will give me 20x. 4 times minus 2y will give me what? Minus 8y, equal to 4 times 16 gives me 64. And I call this equation 3. And then look at this. I multiply with what? Minus 2 this time around. Minus 2 times 3x will give me minus 6x. Minus 2 times 4y will give me minus 8y. Are we together, please? Which gives us what? Minus 2 times minus 6 gives us what? 12. If I take this line again, we are multiplying equation 2 by minus 2. Minus 2 times 3x will give us minus 6x. Minus 2 times plus 4y will give us minus 8. You know why? Because negative times positive will give us negative. And then minus 2 times minus 6, that's minus times minus gives us more positive, and that is 12. So what do? We can now see that what? That the two coefficients are the same. Minus 8, minus 8. So I can subtract. Choose to subtract it anyhow you like, but I'll choose subtracting 4 from 3. That is equation 3 minus equation 4. You can subtract on your own. Equation 4 from 3 anyhow you like, you still get the same answer. So I have 20x minus 6x. Remember the same thing that happened here. Take note. We are subtracting this from this. So this is 20x minus, this is what? Minus 6x. So this becomes plus. The same thing that happened here the other time. So please take note. That gives me 26x. This is minus 8y minus 8y. Of what? That would be 0. But let's still look at this. How come? minus 8y minus minus 8y. This becomes plus. So that's minus 8y plus 8y obviously is 0. So you can see we have actually eliminated our y. So that becomes 0, it's gone. And we have what next? 64 minus 12. What would that give us? That will give us 50, what? 52. And what is our x? Our x is therefore 52 divided by 26. And that gives us what? 2. Exactly the same thing as we got here. So you can see our x again is 2. What's the next thing? To get our y, we have to substitute the value of x in any one of this equation. Let's go for equation 1 again. So I substitute. Say substituting x, which is 2, in equation 1. And equation 1 says 5x minus 2y equals to 16. I put x there. That gives me 5 times 2 minus 2y is equals to what? 16, which is 10. 10 minus 2y equals to 16. Transfer 10 that way. We have minus 2y equals to 16 minus 10. This minus 2y equals to what? 6. 16 minus 10 is 6. And our y becomes 6 divided by minus 2, which is what? Minus 3. So again we have x as 2 and y as minus 3. That should be all for elimination method. Next, we'll consider the substitution method. We'll take the same examples again and solve this time around using the substitution method. Now we are done with the elimination method of solving simultaneous equation. Next, we'll be looking at the substitution method. And if you can observe very well, you can find that this question we have here is that the same equations we solved earlier on using the elimination method. What do we do with the substitution method? In this case, all we have to do is this: pick one equation, maybe equation 1 or 2, whichever one you like, and then solve for one unknown in terms of the other, and then move to the second equation and substitute that. Let's go ahead and look at this. I take equation 1, so I'll say from equation 1. And I'll write out equation 1 again. And it is 3p plus 4b equals to 50. Now mind you, it is not compulsory you use equation 1. You can also pick the second equation and use. And now I look at this, okay, within me, I decide to solve for p in terms of b. So I'll move everything that concerns b to the other side. So I'll solve here as, okay, 3p is equal to 50 minus 4b. Now dividing both sides by 3, I have here that p equals 50 minus 4b, everything here divided by 3. So now I have been able to solve for p in terms of b. But that does not mean I've actually found the value of p yet. But I've just used equation 1, made p the subject of the formula in a very short form. By moving 4b that way, and then dividing both sides by 3, I have p in terms of b. Now since I did that with equation 1, I'll now go to equation 2. Wherever I see p, I'll substitute 50 minus 4b all over 3. So that's where the name comes from, substitution method. Since I now have p in terms of b, I'll go to equation 2. Anywhere I see p, I'll simply substitute 50 minus what? 4b all divided by 3. So I now say, okay, from equation 2, we have 2p plus 3b equals to 35. And so since I know that p is this, I can throw this away and bring in 50 minus 4b divided by 3. So I have here 2 times 50 minus 4b divided by 3 plus 3b equals to what? 35. It's a very simple thing. Do not get scared. This is a fraction, and this is not. This is extent divided by 1. So I might say, okay, let me take LCM here. I have 3. 3 into this is 1. 1 times this will give me what is still there, which is 2 into 50 minus 4b. And then this is like I have 1 there. So that gives me what? 9b, which is equals to 35. What do I do next? I want to clear the fractions. I must multiply 3 times this and 1 times this other side. So if I say 1 times this, it gives me the same thing, 2 into 50 minus 4b plus 9b is equal to 105. Now you can see I now have an equation that has only b. That's the only extent of the substitution. Right from this point, I've been able to push b out of the game completely, and we have only b. So what I'm doing so far, I'm looking for how to get what? How to get my b out of this place. I'll go back to the tops. I know very well that most students don't like substitution method because the elimination method appears to be much more simpler. But all the same, let's get the tick in this. Pick any equation. I decide to pick one. Solve for one of the unknowns. I decide to solve for b in terms of b. I move 4b that way and I have 50 minus 4b. And I divide both sides by 3 and that gives me this. I say, okay, fine. What next? I go to equation 2. I look at here and I see p here. I say, okay, I'm going to throw you out. I'm bringing 50 minus 4b divided by 3. And I did that here. So this is like my 2p plus 3b equals to 35. So I've done nothing. The only thing is that I've been able to throw p out of the game and I have only b left. So I can easily find my b. What do I do? Open this bracket. This gives me 100. This is minus 8b. This is plus 9b equals to 105. I throw this one that way. Minus 8b plus 9b is 1b, which is b. And then I throw 100 that way and I have 105 minus 100, which gives me what? 5, which is exactly the same answer we got in the first case, which means that one book is what? 5 naira. Now that I know the cost price of one book, I can easily find for the second one, which is what? 1 pen. I look at, okay, already we have here, look at this, that p is this. Since I now know the value of b, I can just put it there straight away. So I just go and say, okay, using what we calculated before, why waste my time? P is what? 50 minus 4b, all divided by 3. My b is what? 5. Okay, b equals to 5. So p will be what? 50 minus 4 times 5 divided by 3, which is what? 50 minus 20 divided by 3. And that gives me what? 30 divided by 3, which gives us 10. So just like when we use our elimination method, we have again that our p is 10 naira, so to say, and our b is 5 naira. That means 1 pen costs 10 naira and 1 book costs 5 naira. You can see the very straightforward method. This will be all for simultaneous equation. And with that, we have come to the end of simultaneous equation.